It's been a long time coming, guys, and here we are, 4 years on a keto diet. I don't think it's exactly 4 years. I think it's like 3.5-ish.
It's close enough where we decided to make the video.
I don't remember exactly when we started, and we've had the channel, I think, for almost 3 years.
No, it's 2.5.
2.5.
We started in August, 2 years.
So we're gonna give our takeaways, and I think we got some good ones because I'm definitely learning some stuff about doing this for a long period of time, as opposed to even just after doing it for a year. A lot of differences.
Yeah, we've applied a lot of different things, and we're ready to share.
First off, let's just sum up. We've been doing it for 4 years. I would say in that time we've been pretty strict. We have snacks. Some people would say isn't like the best for keto. Like we have bars, like Quest bar type things regularly.
We've also done cyclical keto diet. We've tried out different methods, targeted keto diet that involves some carb intake.
So have we been in ketosis for 4 years consecutively? No, but I would say 99.9% of the time.
But does it matter?
No. So probably overall, like, I want to say 10-ish meals that were not keto. Yeah. Something like that. Something around 10.
You count a whole box of honey bunches of oats and goldfish as a meal for me during cyclical keto diet.
So our 10 big takeaways. Number one, I think the biggest one, it's much easier to be in ketosis after doing it for this long, especially even after 1 year. It was still kind of a struggle. One big thing is we did like a high fat protocol, really high fat. It's called the Deeper State Keto Protocol for 90 days at the start of 2018. Yeah. And I think that really increased our fat adaptation.
Definitely changed our perspective on the keto diet itself. Like being able to play around with your fat that much and go, I was as high as 84% at one point from fat, which is a lot.
Some days I'll have eaten stuff, like Mega's not looking, I'm just having nut butter packets, I'm having a bunch of bars and stuff. And it totals up to probably like 50 net carbs or something pretty high.
Yeah.
And then we got to do a video the next morning that's like a testing video of some kind, and my ketones are always like above 1. Yeah. So just with all this testing, it leads me to believe ketosis is the natural state for me now, and it's hard to deviate from that.
Number 2, our gym performance has definitely increased. It's a lot better, especially in the beginning. I mean, a lot of people experience this. It's rough. It's hard getting back in the gym. The first months, maybe couple months, your lifts have decreased. Your running isn't as explosive. Like you're not feeling as good. Being really fat adapted at this point, our gym performance is better than ever. What I like the most about it is that I can train on an empty stomach and I still feel energized and fueled.
What I notice is when I used to have carbs, and even when I was starting keto, I had to like really mentally get up for the gym. That's why pre-workouts exist, because you really got to just like get jacked up. Now I can coast in there and just do my lift, and I don't feel the need to really just like get so hype.
And then when we come back from the gym, I'm not like ravenous trying to tear apart all the cereal boxes and like whip out all the carbs and snacks I can.
Number 3, being fat adapted. It's different than I originally thought. And I think the way the internet makes it seem.
Portrays it.
It's like one day you're not fat adapted, the next day you are. And it's usually like 6 weeks is the amount of time people throw out there. So that's not how it works at all. I'm pretty positive of this just based on my anecdotal evidence. When you first start, of course, you're not fat adapted at all, but you continually get more and more fat adapted over time. There's probably huge diminishing returns. Like we've been doing it for 4 years. I don't think we're going to get much more fat adapted, but it is definitely different from doing it 4 years than it was for doing it 1 year.
The effects of ketosis, like I don't get the euphoria anymore. I don't get like the heightened energy anymore. It's kind of just normal for my body. So I feel really good.
Maybe you do still get it, but you're just not, you don't have a reference. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like taking advantage of it. Number 4, the best way to do keto for us has definitely changed over the past 4 years.
Might still change.
Yeah, it'll continue to evolve, I'm sure.
I feel like I've hit a decent groove here, though.
I feel like I have too, and that's because for me personally, I'm putting a lot more focus on the nutrition and the health of the food as opposed to just hitting my macros to a T and like looking at my body in the mirror all the time.
Yeah, so a couple things I found that definitely work for me because I've tried so much stuff. 2 meals a day, coffee in the morning, bulletproof coffee in the morning, 2 meals in the day, starting at like maybe 1 and then 6.
Yeah.
Something like that. That just works for me. It's not going to work for everyone, but that is definitely what I found to be the best. Typically, my lunch meal will be something quick, easy to prepare. Sometimes it's like canned stuff. Sometimes it's just
egg salad,
something out of the fridge. Yeah, something quick. And then dinner Most of my calories come at dinner, cooking a big meal, like meat, maybe veggies, added fats. Number 5, what is sustainable for us? I am definitely in the mindset of always trying to improve, continually improving.
Yeah.
I used to really admire the robots that are just like, here's my Tupperware 4 times a day, I'm eating it. I like having snacks after dinner that are sweet stuff.
Yeah.
I've kind of decided that's something that makes this sustainable for me.
I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't no longer want to.
For me, also the same goes. I just feel like if I'm cutting things out, I want them more. I feel like I'm depriving myself. I'm not like enjoying my life to the fullest, and I'm putting too much focus on like being the robot or like having to hit my macros and not being able to enjoy this other simple pleasures.
I definitely know, like if I'm eating a steak, and I don't really want to eat more of the steak, but I want to eat some kind of bar for after dinner, a snack bar. I'm really full. I just want to taste delicious things, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make that connection. Like it's probably not going to be great for weight loss if you're eating past your natural fullness just to include more delicious foods.
Oh, we had burgers.
Yeah.
I was so full. We had burgers and bacon. And then I was like, I'll just have a Slim Fast Fat Bomb. I had one. And then as soon as I had that, like I was grossly full.
You want more.
But then when I had the fat bomb, I was like, I want another fat bomb. Number 6, how much weight have we lost? I came into this diet very nutrient deficient, very low calorie, very low fat, eating just like Kellogg's Special K cereal and Nature Valley granola bars all day. Like I wasn't eating any good healthy foods. So very unhealthy place mentally and physically. I would say I was more closer to underweight. I was 110.
You were skinny fat for sure.
Yeah, I was super skinny fat, like not attractive. It was 110 and now I'm 125. A healthy, happy, like definitely more muscular, just overall better person.
So before I came in this diet, I would say same position as Mega, but I was more health conscious for sure. But I was a vegetarian, so I was just doing like huge amounts of food. And now thinking back, it really like my stomach was always rumbling. It wasn't great. I would do like a huge stir fry.
With seitan, right?
Or tofu.
That's so good.
Really big. And I would also do a huge smoothie. I would just do like a lot of just huge volume foods, low nutrient density.
Yeah.
Coming from that, I think at my lowest point, I was maybe 185-ish, which is underweight for me, I would say. Mm-hmm. And then starting keto, I gained a little weight. I usually hover like around 190-ish. When we did our cut, I got down to 172, 173. So that's the lowest weight I've ever been. Right now I'm back around 190. So I would say overall just kind of maintained weight, but I lift significantly more, almost double my previous lifts. So more muscle, less fat.
I probably lift like triple my lifts at this point.
Yeah, you can barely lift like a coffee cup though.
I know. It's totally worth it. And like, I just feel so much better.
Number 7, energy and sleep. And I think this is something I just maybe figured out lately. I haven't actually figured it out, but I'm sleeping better.
Well, it's League of Legends right before bed.
It's not League of Legends, it's Warcraft 3. I don't think that's what it is. There's a few factors I've changed lately that my sleep has just been miraculous, but I don't know exactly what it is.
It's all anecdotal. Don't like immediately implement this.
Nutrient density of my diet is up for sure. I'm eating like organ meats, bone marrow, stuff like that. I'm adding it into my diet.
Shellfish.
A couple times a week. It could be that. I don't feel at night like I just want to go to bed, like I'm bored, I want to watch TV, chill, go to bed. I have like more hobbies and stuff going on, and I actually want to be awake longer. I think that helps when you go to bed when you should actually go to bed instead of just kind of like waiting for bedtime to get here. This is a new thing, maybe for the past 6 months. I wake up ready to go. I've always woken up on keto more ready to go, but never like this. Like I literally wake up and it could be 2 p.m. I feel like it's 2 p.m. Like I've just been awake, you know?
Yeah, the same goes for me. I've never been a morning person. Like you know that more than ever. I'm like groggy. I used to sleep until like 1, 2 p.m., which people still do. That's a little bit insane.
When you're in high school, I think you go through that phase.
No, there's like 40-year-olds who do it.
I mean, if you're an adult and you sleep in past 9 a.m., I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Anyway, for me, working out, like I put so much more effort into my lifts. I'm lifting more. That helps with my sleep and my energy throughout the day. Also, I've recently cut out caffeine. It's been a couple months, and that has allowed me to take advantage of like my natural energy, which I didn't know I had. And for that, it helps me sleep better. It also like just keeps me level energy throughout the day instead of the ups and downs with caffeine that you get.
At least a 12 noon cutoff on caffeine.
Yeah, you need that.
I think that's a good rule to put in place. When I was in college, I would drink it at like 6 p.m. That's a terrible habit to get into.
Number 8, how has our cooking style changed? A lot more simpler, a lot less salads. We used to go over the top all the time.
I think my mindset has totally changed from needing to feel full from the volume to feeling full from the nutrients of the food.
Just like healthier, more fueling
Yeah.
foods. It takes us less time to cook. We don't eat every single meal together, just usually dinner. And everything is a lot more nutrient dense. We're not just trying to like fill up and then get to the snacks. You know, I used to do a lot of like deli meat, cheese, mayo roll-ups. I would do that all throughout the day. And then I would never be hungry for meals. I think that's an unhealthy habit to get into because then you're never really like filling up on a food and then your calories can get away from you.
Number 9, eating out. This used to be tough for me mentally because I was so worried about like what's in all the food, how am I going to find something that's keto? Now I just pull up to the place, open the menu, and there's always something.
Yeah.
There's always a low carb thing. The biggest thing lately I would say is just relaxing a little bit. Like when we go out to eat, we don't eat bread, of course. We don't eat overt carbs, I guess you could call them, like mashed potatoes and stuff. But if it's a sauce, it goes well with the meat.
Right.
Maybe it's like pomegranate something. There's like a little bit of pomegranate in it. I'll eat it.
You can ask for it on the side as well.
Yeah, that's what we typically do. Ask
can't-
for it on the side.
You can't be scared to like voice your opinion. You're paying for the food. You might as well get what you want. I, though, was never really scared to eat out in the beginning. Like I love eating out. Like my family eats out 3 meals a day. So I loved doing it and I missed it. But we definitely eat out a lot more now.
Yeah.
And when we do, I'm definitely the person who loves to look at menus and pictures. So I scour the internet, Yelp, and I just find a restaurant that has at least 3 to 4 options for us to choose between. And that's a good way to go about it. Like pick the restaurant, look at the menus, be prepared when you get there to ask for things on the side, to sub things in and out. Number 10, tracking our food. Do we do it as consistently, as strictly as maybe once upon a time? No. For me, I eat a lot of the same meals.
Yes.
So I know like where the macros are at roughly. My goal right now isn't strict where I want to like drop body fat or put on a ton of muscle. So like I don't need to track as strictly because I don't have those certain goals. It stresses me out a lot of the time. Like I enjoy doing it for a period of time and then I get really stressed and I feel panicked like I need to track every single gram of food, and then that's unhealthy for me. So I like to take a break, and right now I'm just, intuitive about it.
Even just eyeballing stuff, I know how much calories generally, like the macros are always, just because of the foods we have in our house, the macros are going to be pretty much keto. So it's mostly just about the total amount of food.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at eyeballing that, but I like the idea of letting my body tell me what it needs to eat. And the only thing that really throws that out of whack is sweet stuff or like baked goods. But if you're eating whole foods, I think your body can kind of tell you
regulate
when it's hungry.
Yeah.
Maybe not at first when you're first starting because you're still breaking your addiction to the standard American diet. But over time, if you're eating whole foods, you shouldn't need to track too much. I like that idea, although it is kind of hard for me to really commit fully to that. Number 11, the last one, bonus, electrolytes. I don't think too much has changed with this. The big one though is I don't feel any need to supplement potassium at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm eating less vegetables, which generally that's where you get potassium from on a keto diet or any diet really. So I probably get under 2 grams per day just from animal forms of potassium. And I don't feel the need to supplement much more. I was for a really long time, for probably like 3 years. I haven't done as much lately and I feel actually better. So maybe that's just something that comes with time.
Yeah.
But I do still do magnesium every night and I salt my food pretty heavily.
So I don't do magnesium at all. I find that I feel fine without it and I sleep fine. And then I don't salt my food heavily anymore. Like I used to go bonkers. But then you also want to have a balance with the potassium. So with my sodium pretty low, I don't have to supplement with potassium that much. So I'm not too focused on that. And maybe there's a day I wake up and maybe I have a slight headache or I'm feeling a little off. At that point, yes, introduce some magnesium, potassium, or sodium and see how I feel. But day to day, like I'm not making sure I get all of it all the time.
All right, guys, that's it. 4 years down. How many more to go? Who knows?
Who knows?
How long have you guys been doing keto for? Comment below.